What's up everyone, and welcome back to another daily Path of Exile 2 market analysis update. So first off, we got the giveaway results from the last video, as well as we have the same giveaway for this video. So if you're interested in winning 20 divines, go ahead and write a comment, like and subscribe. Of course, the like and the subscribe is not necessary, but you will see regular updates on if we have these videos, and I believe that we'll have a giveaway for every coming market analysis video of this season. So go ahead and stay tuned for that, even if you don't win. And let's get started with the results. So for determining who is the winner, I have put all of your names in this wheel right here, and we will now spin it. And if you have won, I will contact you in the last video, as well I will mention you in this video. So then we can figure something out, how I can contact you in the game, right, to give you the divines, as well as we can figure something out if you don't answer for 72 hours, because after 72 hours have passed, I will spin this wheel again, and then someone else has a chance to get the 20 divines. So let's get started. We'll simply click on it and see what we get. And oh, that was close. Congratulations, Bernard, you have won the 20 divines. I will now mention you in the old video and also in this video. And if you haven't won, guys, don't be too disappointed. We'll have these updates every single day. And let's get started with the actual analysis. So for today, we have some quite interesting developments, and I want to immediately show you the data without looking at the specific mechanics inside the game. If you do not know about these mechanics, I recommend that you watch the previous, so not the previous, but the video before the previous video, right, 2 videos ago, because I started explaining there a lot, and I will only do that periodically so that you guys are not bothered by me explaining all of this stuff every time. So we'll be looking at the data, and right here we can see, first of all, the data, basic data right here for today, and we'll still have to, I believe, drag this down. This is, by the way, how you also do this for yourself. If you want to enter this data manually, you can put it in here, and then you can drag this line one more line down, all of these 3 things, and then you can select these tables and also drag it down like this. And then we can look at these graphs, and we can see, first of all, as well as yesterday, we saw 3 different things, or we had 3 different things that I wanted to discuss, and now we have 3 different things as well. So the first topic is the fracture orb, which you can see right here has significantly increased in its value, right? We have, I believe, we have a 12% increase. So if you bought yesterday, like I told you, to buy fracture orbs, you will have made a 12% profit. Sadly, this was not able for all of you guys that have invested in the fund. This was not realistic for the fund because the fracture orb costs a lot of gold, and we simply do not have access to that much gold, right? If we trade with 10 million gold a day, that's already very taxing on also playing a lot, right? Getting all the gold. And any more than that will only be possible if we get a stable supply of gold, right? So if you want to help out with that, check that out in the Discord as well. It pays pretty good, I believe. And yeah, that's for the fund. But if you personally invested into fracture orbs, like I told you guys yesterday, then you will have made a huge profit. The second thing that we got right here is that the Omen of Dexter Erasure has increased 23%. So it was also mentioned yesterday that these 2 omens, the Omen of Dextral Erasure and the Omen of Dextral Annulment, those are usually the omens that do not increase, but are now slightly undervalued and might have a tendency to to move up. So this is not an indication really of this Omen being very much on the rise, but is simply an indication of this Omen being overvalued right now. So if you have have some of those, go ahead and sell them, because it's a good time, obviously. And for the other omens, especially the Omen of Sinistral Null and the Omen of Sinistral Erasure, so that would be these two small omens that you can see right here. They really haven't changed that much in prices or in the amounts that people are buying them, but they have slightly changed in their percentage increase. But that doesn't mean that they have devalued from their yesterday's value, because the yesterday's value was already kind of inflated, right? It was already in an uptrend that you can see right here, and just because we got a slight downtrend doesn't mean these will be less valuable soon. Especially because if you look at if I zoom in a bit at the orange line, which is the Divine Orb, this has gone down, or has gone to the 100% line. This means that the Divine Orb hasn't changed in value from yesterday, which kind of means that the Omen prices are now just focused on demand and not conditioned on the Divine Orb rising or falling in value. We discussed this last video as well, right? How the Divine Orb influences those two things. But that is simply now the representation that the prices have stabilized, and now it's just the market figuring out what really the demand for those omens is. So it's very possible that if the Divine devalues, because it's in a downtrend right here, compared to the past days, that these omens go up a lot in value. So it is kind of a prime time to maybe buy some of those omens, especially the blue line that you can see right here. Which, if I cannot select properly, is not the mirror that just showed up here. That's the black line, but is the Omen of Dextral Annulment, right? That's the other Omen that I told you guys that will fluctuate a bit. So that could mean that these omens will go to a big increase soon, and will have a significant uptrend, because the Divine Orb might be devaluing a bit, because it has been increasing for some time right here. It has stayed above the 100% line, and it usually, when it does that, it devalues a bit, and then the omens go on the rise, right? You can see every time that the Divine Orb devalues, usually a lot of the omens, they really increase in price, right? And that is because we are measuring the Omen in relation to the Divine Orb, and we're trading that way. So if the Divine Orb devalues, it obviously means you need to spend more Divine Orbs per Omen. So it's only logical that those prices skyrocket. So that's for the omens. If you are looking for specific advice, get yourself a few of the omens. So get yourself Sinistral Erasure, Sinistral Annulment, as well as the Dextral Annulment Omen, and not the Dextral Erasure, because that is overvalued now since it increased 20%. So yeah, that's the second thing that I wanted to discuss. And the third thing that is also a prediction that has come true, and that is that the mirror has decreased in its value, because as mentioned, it is a currency that if less players play the game, it's going to increase in value. But there is simply also some fluctuation in the player base, right? Sometimes there's twice as many players in the day than at night, and that also means that the mirror, if some of them drop for a few people, or there's some people that play the game again and they see that the mirror price has skyrocketed so much, then they sell these mirrors, and then the value goes down again, right? And also, if the mirror price is so incredibly high and the Divine Orb is not depreciating in value, right, that means that the mirror is kind of not that desirable to buy, right? And that is why the mirror is now going down, or has gone down for I think the last 2 days. So yeah, that's for the mirror that we had discussed also previously. And now there's just one last topic that I think I want to discuss, and that is that the Chaos Orb has had a slight drop again in its relative value, but it's only logical that if the Divine Orb and the Mirror, right, the other prime currencies besides the Chaos Orb, they don't change in value, that also means that the Chaos Orb has to kind of measure out the same increase, right? These currencies, they trade in correlation to each other, right? Maybe not Chaos Orb to Mirror, but definitely Chaos Orb to Exalted, Chaos Orb to Divine, Divine to Exalted, Divine to Chaos Orb. And if you look at the prices, specifically the averages of the Exalted to Chaos, right, or the Exalted to Divine, and you look at the value differences right here, it's really not that much of a gap. And it could even be that this average for the Chaos Orb even means that the Chaos Orb is even slightly undervalued now. So we could invest into the Chaos Orb to get even more, let's say, value out of buying the Chaos Orb if we haven't done that yet. If you did it yesterday, it's still absolutely fine. Chaos Orb is still the best currency up here, still has the least fluctuation, and you didn't lose that much. But in terms of just relative buying power for today, so for this day, these 24 hours, you have lost some percents. So if you are planning to do any big trading from the Chaos Orb, I would recommend that you refrain from doing that for today, and that you only start using them tomorrow, because right now they are a bit undervalued. So yeah, that's about the long-term value, and I hope this has been relatively understandable. If you have any questions, go ahead and join the Discord server in the video description. We got a couple of other systems that might help you on making a lot of divines there as well. So for example, we have the fund investment system, where you can invest your divines into, we'll reinvest them for you, and then you can withdraw at a profit. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions, of course, you can ask there as well, or in the comment section. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. I'm out.